Western Australia is endowed with a lot of ultramafic rock. You'll recognize the green tint to it. In fact, this 1 kilogram of rock has the potential to restore the atmosphere in a room, say the size of an auditorium, to prehistoric levels of CO2. My name is Paul Needham. I'm the CEO of Arca. Arca is a carbon dioxide removal company partnering with the mining industry to repurpose mine waste for industrial scale carbon removal. We are capturing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and transforming it into rock, where it's safely stored forever. You've got exactly the right kind of rocks in Western Australia. I've actually got a chunk of it right here. This is a very special rock. This is serpentinite. So it's an ultramafic rock, and that means that it's rich in magnesium. And it's the magnesium that's important for capturing CO2. In fact, this rock naturally captures CO2 directly from the atmosphere. Very, very slowly. It's a natural geochemical process called rock weathering, and it's happening all the time. In fact, geochemical rock weathering has been happening for billions of years. Rocks have been capturing CO2 from the atmosphere before we had trees and biology on this planet. So it's an ancient natural geochemical process. This company was founded by 3 brilliant geoscientists, Professor Greg Dipple, who's really a world-leading academic in the field of carbon mineralization, Bethany Ladd, who's a hydrogeologist, and Dr. Peter Shurman, who's a geochemist and also an inventor of our microwave activation technology. But what I'm bringing to the team is this commercial lens. I'm a multi-time entrepreneur myself, started a handful of companies, and I think what has interested me most about this role and working with the co-founders of the company has been to really understand the problems that we're trying to solve. I mean, of course, we're removing CO2 from the atmosphere, helping to restore the atmosphere, repair the climate. For this to scale commercially, we need to be solving problems for customers and for partners. So it's really about, from a mining perspective, what's the value proposition for a mining company to get involved with carbon removal and carbon mineralization, or mineral carbonation, as we call it in Australia. And there's actually multiple benefits. Our process can generate additional revenue for the mining company. Our process can help liberate valuable metals that have been left behind in the mine waste. And we're beginning to see that our process is actually helping to stabilize or cement the mine tailings. So we have early evidence of this, but I think these can be really powerful value propositions for mining companies. Australia has a unique opportunity to lead the world in this domain of mineral carbonation and carbon removal. And a number of companies are already first. So you don't have to be first. In fact, this company grew out of more than 20 years of research by Professor Greg Dipple, 30 research collaborations with mining companies around the world, in Australia, in Canada, in the US, and elsewhere. Although our company is new, just a few years old, it's based on more than 20 years of research and research collaborations with the industry. As you may know, we've done a demonstration project with BHP at the Mount Keith mine in Western Australia. And there we were able to demonstrate the technologies to measure carbon removal directly from air and to accelerate that. You don't have to worry about being first, you can be second, because the technologies have already been well demonstrated. The exciting thing is to resolve this tension that I think our industry is feeling. On the one hand, we know that to accelerate the energy transition, we need more critical metals, and that means more mining. There's no way around it. There's a paradox. On the one hand, we need to reduce emissions and remove CO2 from the atmosphere. On the other hand, we need to increase production. I guess the vision here is that mines of the future can be mining the earth for the critical metals that we need for the energy transition, but also mining the air for carbon dioxide and helping to repair the climate. That, I think, is an exciting vision for the industry. I think you should be asking yourself if you have been looking at that pile of waste and you've mistaken it for a liability when in fact it could be a revenue generating asset. I think every miner wants to capture as much value out of every ounce of ore that is processed. And what Professor Greg Dipple has discovered is that there are minerals left behind in that waste that we thought had no value. The world has changed around us, and some of those minerals are now valuable. The minerals in serpentinite, the serpentine minerals, we've always just considered to be waste. And it turns out under the right conditions, we can make these minerals highly valuable, delivering climate repair services to, keeping them on site. Greg Dipple, Professor Dipple, did some of his initial work actually at the Mount Keith mine, like more than 20 years ago. And some of the seminal papers in this field came out of that initial work. We are working with a handful of other Australian mining companies, but nothing's been announced yet. There are indeed some other opportunities in Western Australia and in other parts of Australia as well. We have formed a partnership with the Jawarl First Nation, who are the traditional owners of a large area of Western Australia, and it's on their land that exists several mining companies, several mining operations with exactly the right kind of rock. Our intention here is to partner directly with the traditional owners and bring value to them as partners in future carbon removal projects. Often when we talk about carbon removal and mineral carbonation and the opportunity for the mining industry, people's minds go to getting to net zero. Could we use this technology to get our company to net zero, to get our operations to net zero? But I think the opportunity is actually better and bigger than that. The mining industry actually can be an exporter of carbon removal services. Here again is the opportunity for leadership in Western Australia, not only to be the first to get to net zero and demonstrate low carbon production of critical metals, but also be delivering carbon removal services to global companies. And it's because Western Australia is so well endowed with the right sort of minerals and of course, the industrial capabilities to deliver. The IPCC has noted that by 2050, we're going to need to be removing between 5 and 10 billion tons of CO2 from the atmosphere every year, just to address unavoidable or hard to abate emissions. That's an enormous challenge, moving billions of tons of anything. There's very few industries in the world that can move billions of tons of material or process billions of tons of material. Of course, the mining industry is one of them. Innovation really excites me, so I'm looking forward to the sessions and the people, and I like the way you've got sort of different streams happening. I know it's going to be hard to choose sometimes which room to be in. The resource sector is competing in the most critical era in its history. Be part of what happens next at GRX26.